Muy buenas chicos y chicas, al habla Chivique y aquí seguimos en Final Fantasy XVI. Vamos a continuar y bueno, como podéis ver tenemos disponibles misiones secundarias, pero claramente hasta que desbloqueemos todos los lugares no podemos hacerlo, y para desbloquearlo pues hay que seguir un poquito de historia. Vamos a ver qué ocurre en este lugar. Vaya, parece que nuestros chicos están un poco parcos en palabras, no han dicho absolutamente nada. De todas maneras, lo importante es que gracias al haber entrado aquí, chicos, ya habremos desbloqueado todos los lugares en el mapa mundi, con lo cual podemos comenzar a hacer misiones secundarias. Vamos a volver a la guarida y comencemos. Primera misión secundaria la tenemos justo enfrente. Subimos por las escaleras y hablamos con una mujercita que hay aquí, al lado del orquestrión. Se llama Molly.
You put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it. I need a hand with a recipe.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps your sword. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that awful stench, people wolf it down. So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan had the same problem.
Yeah, but this is my blooming kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favorites, Molly. And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of a name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Wow. That's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps he'll know something. And if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
Misión aceptada, Epopeya Culinaria. Molly quiere hacer un plato un tanto extraño y a nosotros nos toca buscar los ingredientes, faltaría más. Lo primero que debemos hacer es hablar con Harpócrates para ver si sabe algo de esos ingredientes que necesitamos. Y como ya sabemos, Harpócrates conoce absolutamente todos los datos de todos los temas. Es experto hasta en cocina.
Lawsman Harpocrates, I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Ah, Valicia, A Culinary Pilgrimage, a classic. One of my favorites, in fact. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
Ah, so the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never fail to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers. How very Sandbrequois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside which it resides.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance, a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding them. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other. To Northreach, then.
Best of luck, Clive. And do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
Pues ya tenemos la información que estábamos buscando. Y ahora, chicos, tenemos que ir a conseguir la hierba santa y también derrotar al guiberno índigo para conseguir su carne. Nos vamos a Northreach. Aquí es donde vamos a encontrar todos los ingredientes. Vale, están un poquito lejos. Yo creo que llegamos primero desde la pradera real, ¿no? O al menos dando menos vueltas. Me da la impresión. No sé si estaré equivocado. Bueno, en realidad está a más distancia. Pero yo creo que es más sencillo llegar desde aquí. Sea más sencillo o no, con Ambrosía llegamos en un momentito. De hecho, fijaros, en la ciudad no podríamos llamar a Ambrosía, y aquí sí, o sea que yo creo que tardamos menos. Aunque la distancia sea un poquito mayor. Bueno, me da que vamos a ir primero a por la hierba santa y luego derrotaremos al guiberno. Ambas cosas están muy cerca una de la otra. Me imagino que lo de la izquierda va a ser el guiberno, que está así como en el centro de todo. Y lo de la derecha va a ser la hierba. A ver... Al guiberno no le veo. Pero bueno, imagino que sí, que va a ser lo de la izquierda. Vamos a echar un vistacillo por aquí detrás. Buscamos flores amarillas. ¿Como esas de ahí? Aquí lo tenemos, chicos. Hierba santa. Nos hacemos con un manojo. Y ahora vamos a por el guiberno. No llamo a Ambrosía porque está apenas a unos 100 metros. Míralo, ahí está. Básicamente una copia de un dragón avis. Pues venga, a darle duro, chicos. Vamos a comenzar con las esferas. Van bajando esa barra de vulnerabilidad. Vamos ahora con unas llamas del renacer. Le derribaremos. Unas garras fulmíneas. Y ahora le vamos a meter un gigafulgor. ¡Pam! Con esto le vamos a reventar. Mirad, mirad, mirad qué daño. Buah, tengo unas ganas de dominar esta habilidad. Es que vamos a meter un daño brutalísimo. Cuando dominemos la habilidad va a ser de locos. He lanzado ya el tornado porque así va haciendo dañito. Y además dura lo suficiente como para volver a dejarle otra vez vulnerable. Sé que podríamos derribarle ahora, pero tampoco hace falta. Y quiero lanzar un mega fulgor si puedo. Al menos de nivel 1. Preferiría un nivel 2, pero necesitamos hacer una esquiva dragontina. Como esa. Toma ahí. Pues nada. Vamos a hacer una ala carmesí. Y adiosito. Enemigo derrotado. Facilito. Y ahí tenemos el hígado de aerosaurio. Ya tenemos todos los ingredientes que Molly necesita. Así que, chicos, de vuelta a la guarida. Le entregamos los ingredientes y rezamos porque haga un plato exquisito. Que seguro que sí. Ya estamos por aquí. Avanzamos un poquito y le damos los ingredientes a Molly.
Seems the hideaway's lost its...
So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least it weren't actual worms, I suppose. Now then, you stay right where you are. I've got some cooking to do. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about. And here we have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honor than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force, a force of nature even, a maelstrom of flavor and sensation, a graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable. And I defy any man to say a word to the contrary. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
En eso estaba yo pensando, en enviar a todos los guerreros a cazar guibernos. Creo que se ha venido un poco arriba. Entiendo que el plato estará buenísimo, pero no puede ser. Pues chicos, primera misión secundaria cumplida. Vamos con la siguiente. Entramos en la biblioteca. Y vamos a hablar con esta chica de aquí. Shirley.
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid-scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them. As always.
Misión aceptada. Pequeños ingenieros. Aquí las juventudes ya están pensando en su futuro. Y me parece muy bien. Ser ingeniero es un gran futuro, sin duda alguna. Y además creo que la Guarida lo agradecerá. Tener a alguien que pueda desarrollar nueva tecnología, ¿no? Crear cosas. Hombre, eso siempre viene bien, sin duda alguna. Además, ahora ya no tenemos a Mid. Alguien tendrá que relevarla. A ver, los niños creo que están por aquí. Subimos por las escaleras. Pasamos de largo la enfermería. Atravesamos el puente. Y ahí tenemos a los niños justo a la derecha. Hablemos con ellos.
Sid! Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not.
Oh,
And just how long hasn't it been one?
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we?
Pues vaya, han desmontado la balanza y ahora no saben montarla. Ayudémosles.
All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Mididol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others?
Bueno, pues vamos a ver qué hace cada pieza. Comenzamos con el brazo.
This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track.
Muy bien, chicos. Ahora explicadme. ¿Para qué son los platillos?
These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh goods? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn.
Veo que estáis aprendiendo. Y ya por último nos queda el engranaje. Contadme.
This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Mididol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round and...
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
Not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
We know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. There. All finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss Mididol's hairs.
Her hairs?
Yeah, hairs for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Mididol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until then, though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look. We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
Pues no, chicos, en realidad no me he olvidado del engranaje, sino que confío en que vosotros os daréis cuenta de cómo colocarlo. Pues nada, gente, hemos dado una lección de buen profesor. Se nos da bien educar a los niños, sin duda alguna. Uy, veo que tenemos recompensas en el rincón del mecenas. Luego iremos a por ellas. Prefiero terminar antes las misiones secundarias. Pues nada, de vuelta con Shirley y vamos a explicarle todo lo ocurrido y que los niños han arreglado la balanza. Con nuestra ayuda, por supuesto. Pero les veo futuro, ¿eh? Yo les veo bastante futuro. Creo que se pueden convertir en ingenieros.
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful.
Pues listo, gente. Misión cumplida. Buena experiencia. Y bueno, un botín decente. Buah, tengo que empezar a vender guilápteros y sangre negra y demás, porque debemos de tener un montón. Aunque tampoco es que vayamos mal de dinero, la verdad. Tenemos más de 200.000 guiles. Bueno, vamos con la siguiente misión secundaria. Está por aquí. Anda, ¿ese no es Goetz? Pues sí, misión ojo por ojo.
Is everything all right, Goots? You seem more discomposed than usual.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I'm in a bit of a muddle. Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble, and she's...
It's all right. You can tell me.
There was a trader came by. One of our usuals, like... Said he'd heard some rotten rumours about her down Dallymill Way. Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a coin or two, aye, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing. She'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
Oh, thanks, Clive. You'll let me know what she says, won't you?
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
Pues misión aceptada, ojo por ojo. Yo la verdad es que no veo a Caron capaz de vender armas para un mal uso, sinceramente. Caron puede querer llenarse los bolsillos como cualquier otra persona que tenga un negocio, pero no la veo capaz de eso.
Lady Karen, how's business?
Not nearly as foul as the weather.
You're doing good trade then? Both in and out of the hideaway?
Can't complain. Wait. What exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care, but here you are today, raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto?
Just asking. Out of interest. All right. I'm here because I was told that certain rumors have been circulating. About you selling weapons to brigands.
Oh, are you? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my evil exploits?
I didn't exactly hear firsthand. All I know is that someone in Dalimil has been spreading word to that effect.
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of innocents, do you? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line my pocket. But that woman is no more. And you'd know that if you'd ever paid the slightest bit of notice.
You're right, Lady Karen. I apologize. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
Aye, it was. Now, I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course. Good day.
Cualquiera se mete con Caron, ¿eh? Madre mía, qué carácter. Pues nada, vamos a hablar ahora con Goetz de vuelta.
I spoke with Lady Karen.
What did she say?
That the rumors were unfounded, and that I was a fool for thinking they might hold any truth, along with some other things that made her feelings clear. And while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted in her past, she says those days are behind her.
Oh, well, that's good. I knew Nan wasn't caught up in out bad. But why would people say she was? What did she ever do to them? It's not right.
No, it's not. But people do things for all sorts of reasons. Perhaps we'll never know.
Well, I'm going to find out. That trader, he said they were all talking about her in Dalimil. So that's where I'm going. I'll find someone who'll tell me, you'll see.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading these rumors means Karen ill.
Oh, right. But that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it, Clive?
I suppose it is.
Qué remedio, Goetz, qué remedio. Pero ya no lo hago solo por ti, sino por Caron. Sé que ella no está involucrada en todo esto. Quiero saber qué es lo que está ocurriendo en Dalimil. Pues gente, una vez que lleguéis a Dalimil, tenemos que encontrar a Goetz. Supongo que estará, pues, obteniendo información, ¿no? A ver, parece que está por aquí cerquita. Nos vamos por la izquierda. Y ahí lo tenemos, hablando con un mercader.
Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumors about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever will pay her price, be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and spears. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper at work?
Aye, it just so happens I have. You'll find her right here plying her trade most days.
Here in Delamil? Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so, for your sake. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Sorry to have kept you.
You don't think Nan's the Reaper, do you?
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh? What do you mean?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this stall he spoke of?
Good question. I'll go and have a look.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but be careful, Clive.
You too, Goots.
Vale, ya sabemos que Karen claramente no es la culpable de todo esto, porque lleva semanas sin salir de la guarida, y aquí se han estado haciendo tratos. Vamos a las afueras, a ese extraño almacén, a ver qué nos encontramos. No parece estar muy lejos, a unos 100 metros. Tenemos que salir por el lado este de la ciudad, por aquí. A ver, veamos qué nos espera en ese almacén. Seguramente una batalla. Eso lo tengo más claro que el agua.
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Así que una trampa, ¿en serio? Ay, qué triste. Pobrecitos, no saben con quién se están metiendo. En fin, vamos a rematarlos. Un matón menos. Otro menos. Ah, que se acercan más enemigos. Genial, esto se pone interesante. Tranquilos, tranquilos. Tengo para todos. Venga, a volar. También tenemos ahí el gigafulgor, por si hiciera falta. Tenemos a alguien por ahí curando. Eso no me gusta. Pero no sé exactamente quién es el mago. Ah, vale. Es ese del fondo a la derecha. Pero no creo que pueda curarles con esto. Gigafulgor. Este matón, muerto. Y el de atrás, también muerto. ¿Qué pasa, mago? ¿No das abasto? Vamos a intentar lanzar un mega fulgor. Me vale con alcanzar el nivel 1. Venga, lo lanzo. Pam, 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 pam. Modo superación, otro menos. Otro que se va a morir ahora en breve. Oh, que le ha llegado el cura. Bueno, da igual. Le mato antes de que le vuelva a curar. ¿Veis? Hala, ven aquí, taumaturgo. Ven aquí, que te voy a enseñar yo. Venga, sigue curándote, hombre. Sigue curándote. Enemigos derrotados. Veamos cuál es el desenlace de todo esto, porque claramente creo que la intención era atraer a Charon. ¿Y por qué motivo?
Oh, you've done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalamil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
You're not worth the effort. Now be gone, before I change my mind.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goots. Right now.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty-pated lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
Lord!
Goot, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay in blood!
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life and the lives of countless others. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime, and I will not allow it to continue. Goots, was it? I have no quarrel with you. Only with your employer. Run along now. You need not pay for her sins.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her, or I'll kill you myself!
Goots, no.
Enough, all of you!
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it? I thought the years might have taught you some sense, but I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs?
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault! And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goots, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck!
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs, you remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Sam. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It ain't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due. But he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too. But what if he comes back again?
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon enough. But something tells me the Wet Legs has learned it already. Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough attention already. Ta-ra, Clive.
Remind me never to cross you, Karen.
Estoy completamente de acuerdo contigo, Clive. Madre mía con la yaya. Le ha sacado un ojo a ese hombre. Menuda frialdad. Karen sí que se merecía ser la dominante de Siva y no Jill. Es increíble. En fin. Bueno, de vuelta a la guarida, chicos, y vamos a hablar otra vez con Karen.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble again.
Oh, well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again and again, and you can't stop me.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalamil. Don't think I didn't appreciate that.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today'll cost you the same as it did yesterday.
Pues ya está, chicos, misión cumplida. Por aquí la recompensa, bastante experiencia, 900. Y tenemos el incenciario, que es básicamente un coleccionable para el camarote de Zi. Hablando de camarotes, vamos a entrar porque tenemos cartas. Vamos a echar también un vistazo a los coleccionables, ya que estamos. Bueno, esto va tomando forma. No está mal. Vamos a leer cartas. ¿Cuántas tenemos? Uf, unas cuantas. Vamos a comenzar por abajo. Vuelve cuando quieras. Clive, no hay palabras suficientes para expresar el agradecimiento que toda Northridge te procesa por habernos ayudado a acabar con los hieródulos. Sin embargo, somos conscientes de que esta guerra no ha acabado. Philip está organizando las defensas de la ciudad ante nuevos ataques, pero presiento que el cargo de capitán empieza a pasarle factura. Imagino que tú tampoco tendrás ni un respiro, pero no olvides que no estás solo, y que las puertas del Manto de la Noche siempre están abiertas para ti. Isabel. Bueno, las puertas del Manto de la Noche y otras, ¿eh? Vamos con la siguiente, la vida en la fonda. Los guardianes de la llama se llevan bastante bien con los hacha sangrienta. Colaboran para reforzar las defensas de la aldea y salen juntos a patrullar los alrededores para acabar con las amenazas de las marismas. Esta paz te la debemos a ti, pues seguiríamos con acásicos hasta en la sopa de no ser por tu espada, así que ya sabes, aunque tengas un mundo que salvar, no olvides pasarte de vez en cuando por la fonda para tomarte algo. Invita a la casa, claro. Marta. Qué maja, me cae muy bien Marta. Siguiente, llamas de esperanza. Mi señor, tenéis un talento innato para hacer acto de presencia allá donde más os necesitan. Sin vuestro acero, a estas alturas la fonda de Marta habría caído en manos de los acásicos y nuestras filas habrían sido diezmadas. Sin embargo, ahora que hemos despachado el grueso de la horda, yo y mis hombres podemos afanarnos en acabar con los pequeños reductos que quedan mientras los hacha sangrienta defienden las entradas de la meseta. Aprovecho la ocasión para agradeceros que acogierais al joven Oscar bajo vuestra tutela. Es responsable, diligente y educado. En pocas palabras, un buen hombre que ha aprendido todo lo que podía enseñarle. Confío en que vuestras enseñanzas le ayuden a ser aún mejor. Eso dalo por seguro. Siguiente, puesta en escena mejorable. La Guardia Urbana y la Liga de Mercaderes han dejado de lado sus diferencias, y parece que no volverán a darnos más dolores de cabeza durante un tiempo. No me queda otra que daros las gracias a los dos. Lady Jane de las Alas Rojas estuvo soberbia. En cuanto a ti, ¿qué quieres que te diga? Tienes que trabajar más esos gestos, las expresiones faciales, la dicción y todo lo demás. No te auguro un futuro brillante sobre los escenarios, pero me basta con que le pongas algo más de empeño al papel de Lord Sotomonte. Lubor. Básicamente nos está diciendo, eres un pésimo actor. Ruego vuestra ayuda, mi señor marqués. Lamento contactaros con tan intempestivo mensaje. En estos momentos me encuentro investigando ciertos asuntos que conciernen a toda Tormentia por orden de vuestro tío Lord Byron, y quisiera solicitaros vuestra ayuda. Ruego disculpéis la brevedad de mis palabras, mas no quiero aportar detalles por temor a que esta misiva caiga en malas manos. Si sois tan amable de acceder a mis ruegos, venid a la fonda de Marta, os estaré esperando allí. Sebastián Rutherford, mayordomo de Lord Byron Rosfield.
Rutherford? Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
Misión aceptada, mayordomo de profesión. Y todavía Clive se pregunta, ¿este no es el mayordomo de mi tío Byron? No sé, ha firmado la carta poniendo mayordomo de Lord Byron. Yo es que a veces de verdad que no doy crédito con algunas cosas. En fin, nos venimos aquí a la fonda de Marta y vamos a buscar a ese mayordomo. Está dentro de la posada. Por aquí tiene que estar. A ver, echemos un vistazo. No veo nada por aquí. Supongo que en el segundo piso. Sí. Tiene que estar por aquí. Ah, sí, le tenemos justo detrás.
It is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, Chief Steward of your Lord Uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your Lord Uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your Lord Uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas,
Alas.
I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times, even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe on the road.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic, the other the old Imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalimil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety.
Tenemos que buscar a sus compañeros. Facilito. Vamos a salir al mapa mundi y yo creo que al primer lugar que vamos a ir es Dalimil. Veamos. El compañero está a unos 240 metros. Supongo que es por aquí. Me da que va a estar en el lugar de las termas. Tiene toda la pinta, sí. Vamos a ver qué sucede con este compañero. Rutherford nos dijo que estos compañeros son diestros con la espada, pero por muy diestros que sea, eso no impide que se puedan meter en problemas. Así que vamos a comprobar que están bien. A ver... Debería de estar por aquí. Oh. Me parece que está en problemas.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you, I have nothing.
Then maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master, then? If you'd kindly pay the coin he owes us, we can pretend you didn't draw your blade on Republican soldiers.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
¿Pero a dónde me vais, mierdecillas? Si sois soldados republicanos, no tenéis absolutamente nada que hacer contra mí. Yo lo siento. De verdad que lo siento, pero ya lo habéis visto. Venga, anda, venga, os dejo volar un poquito. Aquí encima lanzan coraza, qué bien. Estoy encantado de la vida. La podemos reventar fácilmente, como habéis visto, con una ala carmesí, pero bueno, molesta igual. ¿Veis? Otra vez. Frena eso, hombre, frena eso. Y todos los demás que están detrás también. ¡Buah! ¡Qué limpieza! ¡Qué limpieza con el gigafulgor!
I'd expect as much from Hugo's faithful, but these were men of the fist.
Much has changed in the Republican army since they lost their rock.
You've seen this kind of thing before, then?
Many times. I was sent here to observe the situation.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but a whole regiment. I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiries, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more, and his men make the rules now.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free, only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist's central command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital and hunkered down behind her walls.
Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria. It's not safe here.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
Not at all. Now, to find this second associate of Rutherford's. If he was bound for Oriflamme, I'll start at Northreach and see if I can pick up his trail.
Pues ya solo queda un compañero, y como bien ha dicho Clive, tenemos que irnos a Northreach. Vamos cagando leches. Uy, qué cerquita lo tenemos, genial. Parece ser que está por aquí. A ver, a ver... Por el momento no veo nada. ¿Dónde narices está? Ah, aquí en la roca.
What happened here?
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was sent here by a man named Rutherford.
And then you found him. I'm Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist your Uncle Stuart. I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw some villagers being robbed on the road here.
Bandits?
They looked more like field hands, but it didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it earned me was a pummel to the temple.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
All right. I'll take care of them. Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach, visit the Vale, tell them I sent you.
Thank you. I shall. Founder be your shield.
Pues creo que nos toca derrotar a otra panda de tontitos. Vamos a por los bandidos. Ahí los tenemos. Y veo que hay un grandullón. Primero tenemos que quitarnos a los que son más flojitos. Más que nada para que no molesten. Bueno, veo que el grande no tiene ni barra de vulnerabilidad. Me esperaba que sí, pero no. De todas formas, seguro que resiste bastante más que el resto. Pero a ver si resiste esto. Pues sí, sí que lo resiste, sí. Anda, le ha aparecido ahora la barra de vulnerabilidad. Antes no la tenía. Bueno, mucho mejor. Ven aquí, ven aquí. Un golpecito y te derribo. Garras fulmíneas y... vulnerable. Lástima que ya me gasté el gigafulgor, pero bueno, tenemos el modo superación, que nunca está de más. Tengo también las llamas del renacer. Podríamos utilizarlas ahora en cuanto se recupere. Y vuelvo a tener el tornado. Vamos a esperar un poquito todavía para lanzarlo. Ah, también tengo el gigafulgor. Nah, pues sí, entonces lanzamos el tornado. Ya podemos derribarle. Garras de nuevo. Pero para la vida que le queda no voy a gastarme el gigafulgor. De hecho, yo creo que con un ala carmesí deberíamos de dejarle casi sin vida. Ahí está. Enemigos derrotados. Experiencia. Botín. No está mal. Y con esto ya podremos cumplir la misión, supongo.
Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
You don't need to tell me twice. Many thanks, traveler.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
It's just Clive, and I'm fine. Which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to their gates.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send out patrols. There are few hands left to work the fields, and even fewer to transport the grain. The market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight break out over a crust of bread. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably just desperate.
Rockford, listen to me. If you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
Of course. I shall return to Northreach right away. But allow me to thank you first. Had you not happened along,
Don't thank me. Thank Rutherford. It was he who sent me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I've got to. I shall send a Bistolus as soon as I'm able. Good day.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. If it isn't already too late.
Ya solo nos queda volver a la fonda de Marta, informar a Rutherford de todo lo ocurrido, y con eso completaremos la misión, chicos. Y por el momento habremos hecho ya todas las misiones secundarias disponibles, con lo cual continuaremos un poquito más de historia hasta desbloquear nuevas misiones secundarias y nuevas cacerías. Venga, vamos a entrar en la posada de nuevo y hablar con el mayordomo.
I see you're still here.
The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. They have resumed their investigations, thanks to you.
I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim would be putting it lightly. Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, we must work quickly. And we must work together. Such is your Lord Uncle's wish.
As it is mine.
Pues efectivamente, misión cumplida. Experiencia, ya va quedando poquito para subir a nivel 41, si no estoy equivocado. Y hálito de luz para el aliento fulgurante. Buena recompensa. Pues nada, chicos, lo dicho, todo hecho. Así que nos vamos de vuelta primero a la guarida. Voy a ir al rincón del mecenas, que podemos obtener recompensas, y luego a por la historia. Si no me paso ahora por el rincón del mecenas, no me pasaré nunca. Más que nada porque se me olvida. Vamos a ver qué recompensa hay por aquí. Vale. Me compensa. 1500 puntos de habilidad. Qué locura. Y por aquí, ámbar y rollo de música. No está nada mal tampoco. Me gusta. Valió la pena venir. De todas formas, voy a seguir acumulando puntos de habilidad porque en principio la idea que tengo es mejorar o las llamas del renacer o el gigafulgor. No lo sé exactamente todavía cuál quiero mejorar. Ya veremos. Pues nada, chicos, estamos ahora en los ecos de Krozjit y vamos a continuar. Vamos hacia la marca roja. ¡Vamos, Ambrosía! ¡Dalo todo! Antes de continuar, creo que tenemos un cofre bastante importante por aquí, por la derecha. No atraveséis el puente, ¿vale, chicos? Os vais por la derecha, por este caminito, hasta que lleguemos a un callejón sin salida, pero que está protegido por un bengal. Y detrás de ese bengal hay un cofre bastante importante. Vamos a derrotarlo. No debería de seros muy difícil. Vamos a derribarle. Garritas. Y ahora que está vulnerable, gigafulgor. ¡Pam! Buah, es que cuanto más lo pienso, me convendría mejorar esa técnica, Aunque las llamas del renacer es que también hacen bastante daño y nos ayudan mucho. No sé, de verdad. De verdad que todavía no lo sé. Vamos a hacer un tornadito. Cuidado que ahora no veo mucho. De hecho me acabo de comer un ataque. Podemos derribarle. Garras. Y este bengal ya está muerto. Una a la carmesí y ya está. Listo. Vamos a abrir el cofre, chicos. Justo detrás del bengal. Muestro ubicación en el mapa. Ahí la tenéis. Y en este cofre encontramos fajín regio. Este equipamiento creo que es mejor que el matadragones. Vamos a echar un vistazo. Es un cinturón y efectivamente es mejor que el matadragones. Como ya os dije y habéis comprobado, es un cofre importante. Sí es cierto que en la mayoría de cofres siempre suele haber basura, pero como veis hay algunos cofres pues que contienen cositas importantes, ¿no? Accesorios o piezas de equipamiento mejores que las que hemos hecho en la herrería. Pues nada, chicos, seguimos. Vamos a continuar nuestro camino hacia la señal roja y tenemos que llegar a Tabor, una nueva aldea. Atravesamos este puente, pasamos de largo a todos los enemigos, no me voy a detener a luchar contra nadie, cosa que a vosotros no os recomiendo, ¿vale, chicos? Porque así, si lucháis, pues iréis mejor de nivel, con más puntos de habilidad. Yo siempre intento, fuera de cámaras, acumular algunos puntos de habilidad, que son básicamente los que me voy perdiendo cada vez que salto todos estos combates. Bueno, continuamos, la señal roja ha aparecido todavía más lejos. Por aquí hay garras letales, pasamos de ellas, continuamos nuestro camino. Y ahí tenemos una misión secundaria. Pues vamos a hacerla. Tenemos que hablar con este soldado moribundo.
You're injured. What happened here? Where are your comrades?
Ether flood up ahead. It swallowed our camp while we slept. My own men did this. Turned every last one of them. There's a village not far from here. Tabor. The people were kind to us. It's only a matter of time before they won't stand a chance. We can't let those monsters reach the...
I'll go. You catch your breath.
Thank you. encampment is up ahead. Just off the track. They must not reach Tabor. Forgive me, Lord Cougar.
Rest well, soldier.
Te faltó decir en paz, Clive. Descansa en paz, porque ese soldado ya está muerto. Misión aceptada. Vindicta. Esto suena a vendetta, a venganza. Bueno, pues entonces vamos a derrotar a los acásicos del campamento. Buah, ya se ve la acumulación de éter desde aquí, ¿eh? Vaya locura. Los enemigos tienen que ser bastante poderosos. A ver, ¿qué tenemos por aquí? Uf, chocobos acásicos y soldaditos. No sé lo que son exactamente. Sí, son soldados republicanos acásicos. Pues nada, vamos a derrotarlos a todos. Los que más me preocupan son los chocobos realmente. Son los más fuertes de todos los enemigos que hay aquí. Lo que más agradezco es que no haya magos molestando, que puedan curar o lanzar coraza. Buah, es que mirad lo que resiste un chocobo acásico. Qué locura. Tenemos el gigafulgor. Ni me acordaba. Pero es que ya para la vida que les quedan, no sé si lo veo muy útil. Ya está. Estaba guardándomelo por si había una segunda ronda, pero no. Y ahora me pregunto, ¿quién nos va a dar la recompensa de la misión? Porque el otro soldado, yo diría que ya está muerto. Ahí nos aparece otra señal. Ah, que hay otro superviviente. Ok. Pues vamos a hablar con él. Espero que no esté tan mal herido como el otro. Ahí lo tenemos.
You're with the battalion?
I am. I heard the fighting. Are the others?
Taken care of. One of your brothers in arms told me what happened and asked for help.
Another survivor? Where is he? Tell me.
His wounds were too deep.
He was right to send you. Those things you slew are no longer my brothers. Tabor is safe thanks to you. Here, you've earned it.
Ah, bueno, que este nos da recompensa. Misión cumplida. Experiencia, 900. Y bueno, vale.
You seem familiar. Have we met?
You must have me confused with someone else.
Wait. That scar.
Son of a whore. You're Sid. I was there in Kosnis when you killed my brothers. I was there in Rosalith when you killed my commander.
My war with Hugo Kupka is over. I bear no ill will toward those who followed him.
And what of my ill will? Coward! Draw your steel. Lord Kupka shall be avenged.
Relájate, chaval. A mí no me llames cobarde, ¿eh? Pero no me voy a enfrentar a ti. Voy a ser buena gente. En otra ocasión.
When your wounds have healed and your head has cooled, come and find me if you must. Though I hazard your life would be better spent in service of those who need it. Or have you forgotten your oath to the Republic?
My oath? What would you know of oaths?
I know how hard they are to keep. Which is why I'm giving you the chance to keep yours.
No. I won't be deceived. Lord Kupka told us of your crimes. You are an outlaw. A murderer, not some
man. Like you or anyone else.
I am nothing like you. But if you're not gonna kill me, then go. Leave! Just know that I will find you, Sid.
Someday.
No sé si Clive hubiera hecho algo de haber elegido la otra opción, pero sinceramente creo que hubiera sido un poco de cobardes, porque enfrentarse a un tipo que está mal herido no lo veo justo. Bueno, chicos, por aquí tenemos un cofre del tesoro, lo abrimos, varios materiales, y creo que tenemos otro cofre por aquí por el lado izquierdo. Ahí está. Muestra ubicación en el mapa. Ahí la tenéis. Parte noreste. Y más materiales. Ok. Pues ya podemos seguir. Llamamos de nuevo a Ambrosía. Y rumbo a la señal roja. Por fin, chicos, vamos a llegar a Tabor. Ya no hay más paradas, os lo juro. ¿Qué nos esperará en esa aldea? Siento curiosidad. Lógicamente Joshua se va a reencontrar pues con su acompañante, ¿no? Imagino. Y no sé si Clive la conocerá, pero ahora lo vamos a averiguar. Ya estamos llegando. Aquí está, chicos. República de Dalmequia, Tabor. Pues entramos en la aldea y nos vamos a ir directos a la posada, que está a nuestra derecha. Ahí está. Vamos a ver qué ocurre.
My Lord Marquis, it is an honor. I am Yote, Knight of the Undying, charged with the protection of His Grace Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix.
Of course. It all makes sense now.
Would you care to elaborate?
The Undying are loyal servants to the ducal throne. Or more specifically, to its heir. They have served our family for generations, albeit from the shadows.
Since their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and enactment of the rites of ancestral communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety. And since the day I left Rosaria, Yote has been my constant companion and protector. Without her sword, I would not have survived my journey across the realm.
Rise, Lady Yote. You saved my brother. I owe you a debt I can never repay.
I but did my duty.
Come now. Tell us what you've discovered.
Your Grace. It is as you feared. The vessel we spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall. It was the Einherjar. Beyond any doubt.
The Black Galleon.
Joshua, the Einherjar is the Royalists' flagship. What business would they have in the Dominion?
Upon learning of Waloed's involvement in recent events at Drake's Fang, I sensed the malign influence of Ultima, and bid Yote and the Undying look into the matter.
We have reason to believe that the Black Galleon weighed anchor shortly after the fighting began, and set a course due south.
For Canva. Then it is Waloed knights who besiege the cities.
What is left of them, yes. And the Black Galleon sails at but one man's behest. Barnabas Tharm.
Are we truly safe here in the Agora?
The city guard have been paid, if that's what you're implying.
All the more reason for them to run.
Well, you are free to leave, Lord Minister.
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital. Canva is ruined.
The realm teeters on the brink of chaos, and all you can think about is commerce!
Forgive us. We were not aware Dhalmekia now subsisted on charity.
Not quite.
How dare you!
Distinguished members of the Council, you must forgive His Majesty this intrusion.
What is the meaning of this?
A trifle crowded, but I fear it will have to serve, my liege.
Very well.
My colleagues, do you not see? The king! He has come to save us from the Akashic. He is a gift from the heavens, divine intervention, our very salvation.
And of course, if it is compensation he requires, we would be most willing to negotiate a fair price for services rendered.
Fools! Your ignorance unbecomes you.
Your Majesty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would swear that the fiends washing the cobbles of Canva with the blood of her citizens wear the colors of Waloed. Ha! So you do not deny it. Guards, fetter them, and see our guests to the dungeons!
Enough. Pathetic creatures. That you should imagine yourselves worthy of salvation. The girl is still here, somewhere in the city, her consciousness fair dripping with her late father's hubris. A consciousness to which Mythos is inextricably bound and inexorably drawn. See that he is made welcome.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, Mythos. Surely the prince's light cannot have sated you.
So then, how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry. Show them.
Phoenix Gate, Drake's Breath, and now here. But what is it?
It is old, ancient, even. Naught remains of the faith it represents, save what can be gleaned from the image itself. None could tell me what the one in the apothecary meant, even the Undying. But I believe it may be the key to discerning Ultima's purpose. That figure in the the center, the one beneath whom the icons congregate, that I believe to be Ultima. He is a god, or at least godlike, his very existence beyond our ken. The icons, and by extension their dominants, are meant to be his subjects, and while some, like Barnabas, have accepted this role, others have rejected it, like you, Clive, which is rather inconvenient, as it appears he needs you most of all. And gods don't like to be disobeyed.
No, I don't suppose they do.
Clive, may I tell Yote of the lake?
By all means.
Yote, I will be accompanying my brother to the Free Cities. Whilst we are afield, I would have you watch over those Clive has made his wards. Omielos delan tuisag ilith. Though well concealed, the hideaway lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered.
But it is my duty to...
As it has ever been my brother's duty, remember.
If that is your wish, Your Grace. But please be safe. If aught were to befall you,
You have my word.
Farewell, my lord, my lady.
We are in your debt, Yote.
Let's find our friends.
Bueno, gente, pues tras estas escenas vamos a ver qué podemos hacer. Lo primero, vamos a agarrar unos cuantos cofres en esta aldea. Y para eso os vais a ir hacia la derecha, subiendo por las escaleras. Luego estas otras escaleras de mano. Y una vez arriba, nos vamos por la derecha otra vez. Bajamos. Vamos hacia el otro lado. Y por aquí tenemos el primer cofre. Muestra ubicación. Estamos en la zona norte, por la parte de arriba. Y encontramos materiales, onzas de ceniza etérea. Damos media vuelta por donde hemos venido y continuamos ahora por el lado izquierdo. Simplemente seguimos por el camino, subimos por estas otras escaleras. Y aquí tenemos el segundo cofre. Muestra ubicación. Estamos en la parte suroeste. 2 monedas bestiálidas. Continuamos. Seguimos avanzando. Y un poquito más adelante, a la derecha, tenemos el tercer y último cofre. Estamos en la parte más al sur. Moneda bestiálida. Pues ya está, chicos, cofres agarrados, así que vamos a hacer misiones secundarias. Hay una justo debajo de nosotros. Vamos a ver por aquí. Tenemos que hablar con ese señor de ahí, el cual se llama Milos.
Finally, no one was paying me the slightest heed. Is something wrong? At the university, the students would hang on my every word. Sadly, this far from home, I'm just a vagrant greybeard. The university? You're a scholar? A specialist in ancient cultures.
the most accomplished in all Valisthea, some have said. Not that I look the part in these tattered rags. In my heyday, no obstacle could have kept me from my studies. Yet here I am, a wizened windbag, bested by the many steps of Tabor. The answers I seek lying just beyond my enfeebled reach. Would you do an old man a kindness and brave the stairs in my stead? You'll be amply rewarded, of course.
Climb the stairs and
memorize a few inscriptions for me, assuming you know your letters, that is. Some courteous soul is rumored to have carved clues to Tabor's rich history into stones dotted about the village. 3 of them, to be precise. 1 each to the north, south, and east. I'm here in the hope that those carvings might shed light on a riddle I've been pondering for some time. Namely, the otherwise undocumented origins of Tabor's unique people. People quite unlike those of neighboring lands.
I can't promise I'll remember everything perfectly.
Remember what you can. I'll piece together the rest. Make for the domed pavilions, and you'll have no trouble finding the stones.
Misión aceptada, grabado en piedra. Básicamente tenemos que ir a leer 3 tablillas que hay en la parte alta de la aldea. Una vez que las leamos, pues venimos a hablar con Milos de nuevo y le explicamos lo que hemos visto. Tenemos que volver otra vez a subir, así que pillamos estas escaleras de mano y vamos a dar un rodeo por toda la parte de arriba leyendo las piedras. Nos vamos a ir por la derecha y aquí tenemos la primera. Guardianes del cristal, de Tabor primigenios cimientos, sacra vuestra noble sangre es y perpetuada será en los tiempos. Quedaros con la frase, chicos. Continuamos. Vamos hacia la derecha. Como ya os dije, vamos a ir rodeando todo el lugar hasta encontrar la siguiente piedra. Ahí la tenemos. Vamos a ver qué dice esta. Nómadas de las llanuras áureas, arraigaos firmes en la piedra, recordad con orgullo vuestro noble pasado y haced un hogar de esta tierra. Y nos queda una más. Ahí la tenemos. Hijos de los cazadores, de la tierra ahora labradores, cosechad la bendición prometida y dad gracias por sus muchos dones. Una vez leídas las 3 piedras, volvemos con Milos. Como hemos dado toda la vuelta, pues tenemos a Milos justo al lado.
The engravings were in good repair considering their age.
Oh, would that I could have seen for myself. Come, don't tease me now. What did you learn of this place and its people? Let's start with the engraving to the south, shall we? What did it say?
La talla del sur fue la primera que vimos y decía Guardianes del cristal.
Guardians of the crystal, the first stones of Tabor, sacred hold thy noble blood, till ends the mother's labor. I'm pretty sure that was it.
Fascinating. It would seem the founders of this city were descendants of those fallen charged with protecting the mother crystals. But whatever could have driven the Guardians so far from their sacred charges, I wonder? The engraving to the north is next, I think.
La segunda decía Nómadas de las llanuras áureas.
Wanderers of the golden plains, lay your roots in stone. With pride recall thy noble past, and make these rocks a home. Or I think that was it, at least.
No doubt you're right. There are vestiges of nomadic customs in Tabor its guardian roots could never account for. This is proving most enlightening. Now, for the final stone.
Y la última decía... Uy, cuidado que aquí son todas iguales. Es la segunda.
Children of the hunters, now tillers of the land, reap her promised blessing and give praise her gracious hand. That's all three.
And so, we add primitive farmers to Tabor's founding peoples, the final piece of the puzzle. 3 engravings, one for each of the 3 peoples to have settled Tabor in ancient times. Guardians of the Mother Crystal, wanderers from across the plains, and last but certainly not least, hunters turned farmers. Little wonder it was so difficult to trace the roots of Tabor's culture. Those roots reach down through 3 distinct traditions. Nonetheless, one cannot help but wonder why this fact is not better known among scholars, given that the stones stand here for all to see.
Too many stairs, perhaps.
Ha! Too many by far. Here, and thank you.
Facilita, chicos. Misión cumplida. 400 de experiencia. Y moneda bestialidad. Vamos con la segunda y última misión secundaria. Está por aquí abajo.
Careful how you pack that leather. Any creases or scratches will bring down the price.
Vamos a ver qué quiere este hombre de nosotros. Se llama Karel.
Is that blade for hire, perchance? Because I have a mind to make a killing.
Figuratively, I hope.
Well, yes and no. A passing caravan carried with it a rumor most fortuitous for one in my trade, that an elder Dread Evis had been sighted in the fields of Korava. Dread Evis are aggressive beasts. Compelled as they are to acts of violence, few survive to maturity, but those that do develop a hide of phenomenal value.
A hide you want to sell?
Eventually, yes. Though I would have it tanned first that it might be crafted into marvels the likes of which the world has never seen. Dread Evis skin is a rare thing indeed, but the worked hide of a well-aged beast, now that would fetch such coin that Gilbert himself might weep with envy. Bring me that beast's skin, and I will share with you the bounty of our combined labors.
All right. I'll hunt your Evis.
Of course you will. When one lives in such troubled times, it is a fool who lets opportunity slip his grasp. Leave Tabor through the east gate, but take the path that branches west. Once you reach the checkpoint at Tovany, you are a mere stone's throw from the fields of Korava. I eagerly await your safe, and above all, triumphant return.
Misión aceptada, jugarse la piel. Básicamente tenemos que conseguir la piel de un enemigo. Del Timoravis. El cual, a ver dónde se esconde. ¿Dónde narices? Ah, vale, en los campos de Korava. Yo creo que vamos a llegar primero desde la mandíbula. Parece que está más lejos, pero creo que el camino es más sencillo. Sé que de la otra manera me voy a perder. Y además tendríamos que ver una secuencia relacionada con la historia. Y como no quiero mezclar las misiones secundarias con parte de la historia, prefiero que vayamos desde aquí. Vale, chicos, eso es cosa mía. Vosotros, si queréis, podéis ir desde la aldea. Y bueno, hay menos recorrido, eso es cierto. Pero vamos, que con Ambrosía se llega prontito. Tampoco pasa nada. Odio cuando entro en una cueva y no veo absolutamente nada hasta que avanzo un poquito. Es como si tuviera que cargarse el escenario, ¿no? O algo, no sé. Es una cosa un poquito rara. Bueno, ya estamos llegando. Estamos muy cerquita. Creo que la zona es cerca de donde nos enfrentamos a 10 de tréboles. ¿Se llamaba así? O 9 de algo. No me acuerdo. Una escoria que ya derrotamos. Creo que ya estoy viendo al dragoncito. Ahí lo tenemos. Nada, facilito. Otro tipo dragón avis. Vamos a tope sin dejarle ni respirar. A ver si podemos dejarle vulnerable lo antes posible. Voy a encadenar una técnica tras otra. Ahora podemos derribarle. Barras fulmíneas. Vulnerable. Y ya sabéis, giga fulgor. Ni respirar le estamos dejando, chicos. Mitad de vida. Seguimos atacando. Tornadito. Modo superación. A tope con todo. Se recupera, pero no pasa nada. Bueno, nos ha dado con un ataque, pero como tenemos el modo superación, vamos recuperando vida. Y el Timoravis ya está muertísimo. Súper fácil. Y ahí tenemos la piel. Pues nada, de vuelta a Tabor. Me he salido al mapa mundi sin querer, pero da igual. Ya estamos por aquí. Y a Karel. ¿Dónde tenemos a Karel? Aquí.
Here's your hide, as requested.
I worried you might never return. Quickly, let me see it. Oh, as supple as a maiden's cheek, yet as adamant as her virtue. This is everything I had hoped for, and more. Clearly, my trust in you was not misplaced. You must be a hunter of considerable talent to have bested the beast with nary a scratch. Join me as my honored partner. With my means and your might, we shall be as wealthy as the merchant kings of Zemeckis.
I don't plan on making a habit of this. I'm busy enough as it is.
Very well. Though I believe fate had a hand in our meeting, it would be unbecoming of me to beg. Do not allow me to keep you from being about your business. Here, for the hide.
Listo, misión cumplida. Con esto, como ya os he dicho, completamos todas las misiones secundarias que hay por el momento y ya solo nos queda hacer una cacería que va a ser bastante rápida. Vamos a salir de la ciudad por donde nos mandan.
Cyril, how fares the search?
Well, Your Grace, my report shall be with you ere long.
Ah, yes. Yotei is otherwise engaged, at my behest.
And the duty of wardenship?
Fulfilled. For as you see, I've been reunited with my first shield.
I am Cyril, Knight of the Undying and bearer of the Burning Quill, charged with chronicling the mortal deeds of His Grace, Joshua Rosfield,
Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix and rightful Archduke of Rosaria.
I entrusted Cyril here with overseeing the investigation into Ultima's origins. Findings from his brothers and sisters afield are delivered here to be collated and catalogued.
Just how many Undying are there?
Not nearly enough, milady. Yet we are glad to give our all in service to the Phoenix. Such is, and has ever been, our creed.
I see.
You have your associates, I have mine. But you may now think of them as ours. That won't be a problem, will it?
The Phoenix is our sun, and we but the shadows that quicken in his radiance. It is from the darkness that we serve, both him and now you. Pray accept this token. For as long as you bear it, members of our order will reveal themselves unto you, if there is nothing further.
No. You are dismissed.
Your Grace.
It's a canva then.
We'll talk about this later.
Pues nada, otra insignia más. No sé exactamente ya cuántas tenemos, pero yo diría que una barbaridad. En fin, como os decía, vamos a hacer una cacería ahora, antes de continuar. Y para eso, en cuanto lleguéis al cruce, nos vamos a ir por la derecha. Está muy cerquita, chicos, no os preocupéis. Vamos a ir avanzando. Y en cuanto veamos la oportunidad, nos vamos hacia la izquierda. Por aquí. ¿Veis esa manada de lobos? Pues esa es nuestra cacería. Muestro ubicación en el mapa. Ahí la tenéis. Parte sur de Tabor. Y vamos allá. Nos enfrentamos a la manada, clase C. Bueno, esta batalla no es difícil, pero son varios enemigos, así que cuidadito. Porque, bueno, esquivar a varios enemigos se torna bastante complicado. Algún ataque vais a recibir. Lo primero que tenéis que hacer, lógicamente, es utilizar todos vuestros ataques grupales. Ya sabéis, llamas del renacer, tornado, gigafulgor, todo lo que tengáis. Y una vez gastados, pues nada, a pegarles. Modo superación, vendrá muy bien, porque atacáis muy rápido y podréis bloquear muchos de sus ataques. En cuanto vayáis eliminando lobos, la batalla, lógicamente, se tornará mucho más sencilla. Un lobo menos. Vamos a ver si nos podemos quitar a otro más en medio. Que está a puntito. Otro menos. Y... otro menos. Ya solo quedan dos. Gigafulgor. Y... muertos. Escoria derrotada. Ya os dije que era facilita. Pues nada, chicos, ahora sí. Con todo esto hemos completado ya todo lo opcional. Con lo cual vamos hacia las ciudades libres de Camber y creo que lo dejaremos por aquí. Hemos hecho muchísimas cosas por hoy. Vamos a volver por donde hemos venido. Giramos aquí a la derecha. No os perdáis, ¿vale? Porque si seguís por ese camino, llegaréis a los campos de Coraba. Seguimos por aquí. Estamos a unos 300 metros. Pasamos de los orcos. Y cuando avancemos un poco más, deberíamos de encontrar un obelisco. Bueno, ya se ve desde aquí, de hecho. Vamos a acercarnos. Y este obelisco es el de... Ahí se activó. Senda dorada.
The free men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry.
Pues nada, de vuelta al minimapa. Lo vamos a dejar por aquí. Como siempre, deciros que espero que os esté gustando mucho la guía, que os esté resultando muy útil. Os agradecería un me gusta, suscribiros al canal para más contenido y nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. ¡Hasta pronto, gentecilla!